Well, look who's back for another visit. Our old friend, the 228. So, we left this off here. We're still kind of talking about like, okay, is it burning bright or not? Is it doing good or not? And, it seemed to be doing pretty good, but it still has a bit of a smell to it, which I'm just not normally accustomed to. Now, I was thinking I was going to get a new generator, but then at a suggestion from, in a comment from Bluegrass Bushcraft, he said, you really ought to pull those burner tubes out like you've been talking about. And I'm like, yeah, I probably should. And he's like, I got to use a little bit of heat. And I'm like, right, which is kind of what I tell everyone else to do. So kudos to you for making me come back to this and doing it this way. Now, I kind of give it, I'm going to go 50-50 on if there's going to be actually something to be found in here or not in the tubes. I kind of feel that there won't be. But hey, you know what? There's a good chance it will, because as other people have said, and I completely agree with, there's no real amount of high pressure air or water that's going to clear out spider webs and obstructions like that. Spider webs are very, very tough, and unless you actually get in there and physically remove them, the water's just going to rush right by them. Same thing with air. It's not going to blow them out, and you're going to be stuck with the same situation. So even though I did clean the screens and that seemed to be better, it still looks like it could do a little better. So after this, the only thing left really is the generator, because everything else is fine. So that's what we're going to do today. So I figured that even though this might be a situation where we take it apart and find out, well, there's nothing in here, on to the next thing. And I was kind of trying to see if I had another laying around here with a known good 220 or 220 style, 220, 228 generator I could just kind of swap in here real quick, but I don't really think I have one. I might, but I don't have one that I know for sure will light up. I've got two generators for 242s and 200As that I know will go, but obviously those are the wrong size. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to breaking this down like we've been breaking it down on a weekly basis here for some time now. So same drill, take off the vent, pull out the globe, grab my glasses, and then proceed to wreck the mantles on this for yet another time, because that's the only way that we can get this done. But you can see, though, that when they burned off this time, they are definitely not discolored or anything like that. So they look really good. But like I said, it still doesn't smell like it's burning clean. So we're going to go ahead and do this, which is really annoying to have to do this for the third time. Oh my God. Anyway, that's all right. But another thing you can kind of see is that these are actually pretty tough. You can see I'm hitting them. I'm not making any holes in them. And so the thing about this is, because they've been run for a significant amount of time, it actually takes some strength to pull these apart. So that's because they've got that that runtime on them. So these are ones you could actually probably even bump with a match and kind of blow that semi-radioactive stuff that way. And you probably would not damage them at all. And so that's the thing, is like you really want to run those in to get them to be tough like that. So make sure that this is about in the right spot. Yeah, if the screw comes out a little bit hard, you can always turn this to make sure that it's not hasn't tried to move and is obstructing it. So just gonna do that. Put this here. I'm gonna need to pull out the generator for like the millionth time. And okay. I guess I could have done all this stuff off camera, but then, you guys wouldn't be able to listen to me babble. It's of course, another hot day here, although we're getting into the middle of August, and as far as that's concerned, honestly, our our temperatures here in Texas this year have not been that bad. They're really not. They've been much worse at other times, but yeah, it's actually really not that bad. So, okay, so that's in there. That's done. Unscrew this dude. And so what we're gonna do, you know, because like the last time I had mentioned on here, I said I tried unscrewing the burner tubes and they didn't want to come out. And we're gonna see if we can't get all of these out of here, including the main one. So we'll see if we're lucky with that or not. All the screws come out nice and easy, which is great. But as we stated before, these do not want to turn at all. So what I want to do is I'm going to heat this up with a torch, and then I'm going to use this. And I'm not going to clamp on the tubes themselves. They're brass, and they will collapse. And I have unfortunately done that to one other one in the past. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the vice grips here around this, which may or may not work for me because I've got only these little needle nose ones. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's gonna work sort of like this. So I'm gonna kind of get this preset, so once it's hot I can just kind of grip it and rip it. It's actually a bad orientation for this. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more along this line here. Oh, hey, look, we've got a little bit of action already. Okay, well, this is great. So I'm not even having to break the torch out, and this one is wanting to come loose. So we might have some good luck here. So let's see how this continues on. Just need to get this in a better spot so I can grip it a little better. I need a smaller one. This is way too big. So yeah, again, thanks to Bluegrass Bushcraft for making the suggestion here to get these things. Get them out, man. Yes, sir. We'll do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and struggle with this one for a while and see how well we do. It's actually coming out pretty nicely. I keep thinking that it's going to be enough for me to just kind of do it with finger tight, but it doesn't quite want to go there. Close. There we go. This one's moving. Okay. Looking down there, I see nothing but a clear shot. Might be able to look down there if I hold it right. So that looks good. Let's see if we have any luck with this next one. So let's see. Same kind of trick here. Oops, use the right size. See if we don't get lucky. You know, and also this lantern has been run some. That may also help. Oh yeah, see, this one's coming out nice and easy too. Well, gosh darn, y'all are not going to get to see any kind of hot torch action here, I guess. So let's take a look through this one. It's the screens on here look fine. It looks almost like it has two in there, which is kind of interesting. Okay, well, you know, one thing I would love to be able to do would be able to get this burner cap off. So let's see if we can get lucky with that. Get this kind of cranked up in here. Yeah, and that doesn't want to come off. All right. Well, okay, so now we've got this, which is also coming off. Nice. Okay, so there we go. We've got everything completely apart. There is no obstructions. There's one little piece of flash in here from the screw. which I just knocked off, but these tubes are completely clear. There's nothing in them. And looking in the top of this little mixing chamber here, there is nothing in it either. So, yeah, I just wrecked mantles for no good reason. Right. But, you know what? There is a good reason, because number one, we had to find out and see if it was actually blocked or not. That's just part of the whole diagnostic process. And they are not, so we know that part is good, I suppose. I can take this opportunity here to kind of clean some of this pitting off of here a little bit, so it's not quite so scrungy, because now I can easily get to it. And again, this is nothing more than the 4/0 steel wool. There might be a little bit of residue of mothers in here from other previous polishing jobs, but that's okay, because it'll provide a little bit more abrasive to it. Kind of clean that off some. Yeah, it's seems like all kinds of buildup on here. But the good thing is that, well, there's nothing in there, so I guessed right on that not being the cause of it. But the thing that is kind of interesting is that, like, this here, the mesh on this looks, it's like it's very simple. It's just one single piece of mesh. This one here looks like it's got like two pieces of mesh in there set at opposing angles. And I'm kind of wondering if this was the one that was always burning a little bit less, which would make sense because it would have slightly more resistance to gas pressure. So now the real trick is how to get this off here without damaging this. And this is the part I really hate, because I absolutely do not want to flatten these burner tubes, because that would just be terrible. And I don't have any other good way to grip it. I mean, I can heat this up and see how it comes off. Yeah, the biggest problem here is, how do I hold this once it's super hot? And I mean, I know I've got a vise sitting right here. I mean, that's obvious. But I also don't want to get it into here where I'm going to really damage it. I don't have a very good soft jaw setup here, but I guess this will kind of have to do. I guess we will test the heat resistance of this gasket material. So we're gonna try to put it out here and just, oh man, this is the part that just makes me really, really nervous, because I don't want to, I want to get as much contact area on as possible. Just don't want to flatten it. Okay, well, let's just try applying some heat and see what happens. The gasket material, obviously not high temperature. It's smoking pretty quickly there. It smells pretty terrible. See if we can't get this to work. I'm just slowly increasing the tension on this thing to try not to flatten it any. That seems to have got it to stop spinning, but now this is slipping, so. Boy, it's just not wanting to come loose at all. Try a little bit more heat on here. Man, that really smells bad. It almost smells like a cigarette, which I don't like at all. Yeah. Still no good success on that. Oh wait. Here we go. We got it. We got it. It is pretty darn hot. So I'm going to put that here and not catch myself or burn the heck out of myself, but I'm going to get my little cup here and fill it with some water so I can put that out. Set my fan here in the back if I don't pull everything over. Okay. It's like an obstacle course in this place. Alrighty. Different pair of pliers. Grab these on here. Okay, that's in there. Get the other side. Okay, that's good. Does not appear that I've flattened anything on it, so that's super exciting. So that's the that's, I guess, lesson number one on like how to use heat as your friend when working on these things. Of course, it's very hot in here, so heat doesn't feel too friendly right now, but nonetheless, that's what we want to get things loose. So let's just take a look and see what we've got here. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, this one appears that it has two separate screens that are stacked on top of each other in there, but I don't see any way to kind of get them out. I would like to only have one, but yeah, they're definitely wedged in there pretty good. It would be great if I could get it such that they were a little bit better aligned, but they're not really anyway. So you can kind of probably maybe see through this one that looks like there's two different screens, and then through this one here, well, it's going to be a little bit tougher, but if you look at this end, that's all you see. It's just one single screen in there. So it would make sense as to why this one would have a little bit more resistance than this one. Yeah. So I am going to try to pull one of these screens out of here. See if it'll come out. Because maybe that was, oh, it's just disintegrating. Just like that. Okay. Maybe that was a manufacturing error or something that put two screens in there. But now we've got one and a bunch of little bitty wavy bits of metal that is just completely apart. So now you can see here we just got one. Hope springs eternal that maybe this is going to help. I would say that it probably couldn't hurt. I think that, man, I have really wound myself up here. Apologies while I, sort of like, I'm like the dog that doesn't know how to not run over its own leash and tie itself up here. So, yeah, we're going to, it's really pretty impressive that I've managed to mess this up so far. Okay, there we go. Now, I don't think we're going to make it any worse by doing this. I think we're going to make it better. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to screw this back on here. Yeah, and it feels pretty good. Although, you know, that really makes me want to put just one little dot of the muffler cement, just to keep the keep it from coming off. And you don't need a bunch. You just need like one place. That's it. Don't overdo it. This stuff will come out if you soak it in water. So, I mean, at least that part's good. But all I want to do, oops, let's get it not cross-threaded. All I want to do, well, as I say it, I'm not sure if I just did or not, is provide a little bit of resistance on here. So with the repeated heat cycles that the it doesn't come off. There we go. I believe that's right. Looks right. Okay. I may do the same here, or I may not. No, I think I'm just going to screw these in because they were in there pretty snug. And I'm going to do these first because these have got to go in there, and they're only held in by their own hand-tight friction. This has got a set screw, which goes through the tube and will hold it in place. So yeah, I'm really noticing the lack of my fan. So I'm going to stick this back up. Didn't really realize how big of a difference that made until it's not there anymore. All right, so we're going to go ahead. Oh, you know what? I am kind of stupid. So all you people that were just laughing at me screwing these things in, yep, you're right. You cannot put these in there without, you can't put the center one in if the outside ones are in. So yeah, I'm a dumbass. I mean, an idiot. Sorry about the language there. So let me just screw these a little bit. I'll try to do this down here so I don't damage anything. Okay. Yeah, it's really amazing how brass will really self-fuse to itself extremely easy with just a little bit of torque. So, so yeah, let me. Of course, the cap's coming off. So we're going to go down here, ever so gently. Get that off. Okay. Right. Let's get this one in here first. Right proper order for everything here. And should line up with the hole, and it does. Grab our screw, which I think they're both the same. We're going to go ahead and put the shorter one in here. Yeah, I did a little bit of the steel wool usage, and now I've got fuzzies all over everything again. All right, screw this in. So now it should be locked in place, and it is. Screw this in. Don't mind the dog whistle calling and squeaking. Okay, get that tight. Put this in here. Come on, baby. You can do it. Okay. Right, okay. Looking like it probably could screw in just a little bit more. So we're going to try. We're going to try down here because we can put more force on this and we don't have to worry about crushing a tube. Of course, you gotta squeeze that down so it works. Okay. That seems to be in there pretty tight. Okay. Back together, and ready for the third set of mantles to be installed on this thing. Okay. It's in there like it's supposed to be. Got this in here. Man, the amount of fuzz and fur that I pick up super quick is just ridiculous. You don't really realize, you know, I do really like my magnetic tool holder, but man, when you work with steel wool on this stuff, and well, you know what? I think I got the wrong screws in the wrong spots, because this is not wanting to go in like it's supposed to. I think I'm supposed to have the short one down here, the long one up top, so that's all right. We'll do the swap on that real quick. I thought this looked to be in its right spot because it looked to be a little bit more cooked, but I guess not. So let's do a quickie swap here. Yeah, the shorter screw is actually easier to get in downstairs because the angle is just that much less. So yeah, this will go right in here just like it's supposed to. Okay, that's good. This one down here. That. Yeah, you have much less of an angle when the screw is shorter. So that's good. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping here. Got to get the generator back in. A brief pause for a little bit of cleanup on my part here. Oh man, I may have to take a break from some of these until some of the cooler weather comes back. We might do that. So if we're missing a video next week, you might know why. Because we've taken a little break until the heat goes away. But we'll see. So far, we've been getting through the worst of it. So it's only going to get better from here. The days are getting shorter. So that's what we want, because that means it's going to start cooling off. It's going to feel a whole lot nicer than it has been here in the past several weeks. We still probably have a good, I don't know how many days, 60 days of still just hot temperatures. But, well, cool weather will be here before we know it, and that'll be great, because I love the wintertime in Texas. It's really nice. It doesn't really get cold. Of course, last year it did. It got down to -11, which is like the first time it's done that since I've lived here, and that's since the late 70s. All right, not to subject you to this at normal speed, so we'll just speed this part up. All right, man, that last one really wanted to fight me. I don't know what his problem was. Okay, so sadly gonna have to turn off the fan. We're gonna light my torch with a torch. And you know what else? I think I still got some fuel in there. Thought I stole some fuel out of it. Come on, man. Anyway, I was saying I thought I stole some fuel out of it for another lantern to light up. But I guess there's still enough fuel in there, so you don't have to worry about that. Get these all nicely burned off. And let's hope for the best, right? Let's hope that we're going to get an even burn now that we've kind of probably solved a bit of the problem of the different restrictions in there. Okay, so we're gonna let these go for a bit. I'm gonna probably just help it a little, speed things along some. So it's got quite a bit of on the back side. We're just gonna get that cooking a little better. Okay, I probably even actually still have pressure in here from when I last used it. Let's see. Oh, and I got asked a really good question by another commenter. He says, why do you wait for the spit? I was like, oh man, I thought that I had explained that, but I realized that I never really have. And the deal is that I wait for the spit because when you open it up and you don't hear anything until the spit, there's nothing but air coming out. The generator has completely emptied itself of fuel after being hot. When you shut it off, all that fuel vapor and fuel has vaporized and has forced its way out. So basically the generator is completely empty. For this lantern to start, you have to refill that generator all the way to the top so it sprays some liquid fuel out, which then gets dispersed and catches, which starts the whole process of heating the generator, which then makes the fuel in the generator turn to a gas, and then that's what actually burns. So right, you're not burning liquid fuel, you're burning gas. So holding a match and waiting for it until you hear the spit is pointless because there's just nothing but air coming out. So that's why I wait for the spit. So we're gonna do that now. There it is. Mike's going to give it a little bit more pressure. I think it was down a little bit, so we'll give it a little bit more pressure here. And so now that generator's full of fuel, there's a little bit that's sprayed up in there is dissipating while we kind of repump or get our match or whatever it is that we choose to light it with. And so that way when we turn this on, we should get like an almost instant light. Just like that. Okay. A little more pumpage. Until it sounds like it's, oops. Oops, I think my leather fuel, my pump leather just failed because I got nothing anymore. So, all right, that's as far as she's going to get pumped up. Okay. Hey, I think that that's actually better. So let's drop this in here, and then drop this on here. Get this down before I get completely zorched. Ah, man, so now we've got a whole nother project. I'm not sure if I've got another pump leather here. Man, this drawer. Oh, yeah, I do. All right, got another pump leather, so that's good. While we're waiting for that to kind of stabilize a little bit, we're going to do, yep. So you can see what happened there. The pump leather completely failed. That was probably the original one that was on there. I had treated it up with some neat's foot oil, but yeah, the leather is just completely rotten. So that's fine. Not a problem. We can fix this really quick. So, let's see. Just need a little wrench to go on there. That might be a 3/8. Yep. And then let's see, that's not wanting to come real loose, but my hands are a little bit slippery, so I'm gonna see if I can't, let's see, is this maybe a 1/4 inch here? If it is, it's a lot smaller, but it might be enough to just break this free. Let's see what happens. No, not quite enough. So I need to kind of improvise with these a little bit. I really hate to use these, but we're just going to give it just enough to keep it from spinning. And of course, they're absolutely covered in the steel wool dust. Okay. Probably if my hands weren't so slick, I probably could have got that off pretty easy. All right. yeah, always good to have some spares on hand here. So just gonna kind of clean this up a little bit. Probably a little bit of brass brushing won't hurt it. Yeah, brass brushes are good. They don't really damage anything metal, because steel is always going to be harder. And if it's brass on brass, you're still going to be in a good spot with that. They're not going to get really messed up or anything. So just enough to clean off some of the surface goo. Nothing's going on. Huh, SD card full. That doesn't make any sense. Well, anyway, we're going to continue, I guess, on this one here. Sorry about the change in the audio, but this will be pretty quick to get this in here. Screw this on here, and then a little bit of oil on it, and then it'll be back to being good as new. That's weird. I had a big SD card in there, so I'm not exactly sure why it is saying that the card is full. Anyway, well, it's all right. I was kind of hoping this was going to be a relatively quick video, but obviously it has not turned out to be a relatively quick video. It's taking a little bit of time here, but it's looking pretty good. Although I'm still having that same side over there is a little bit on the dim side. So we're going to just put some oil on here, inside, outside the cup. Kind of blot some of it off just a little bit. These new pump cups are always a bit of a challenge because they're pretty splayed out. So you have to really kind of work at getting them all squished up in there. Come on, you can do it. There it goes. Whew. All right, back in business. Oh yeah, it really pumps like the dickens now. Okay, so let's see what it is we've ended up with. I mean, the lantern's very bright. That one side is still kind of dim, which to me is absolutely puzzling, because you know we've got the same restrictions on both sides now. And let's see, the smell still a little bit. So yeah, we may have to do this one more time. Maybe we may try a new generator and see if that doesn't help. So a little different sign off here this time since we're at this angle, but at any rate, that's all we got here, and it's working a little better every time we mess with it, but I think maybe a new generator is what the next step is. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I appreciate all the new subscribers. It's great seeing a whole lot of people coming in, asking questions and everything else. So that part's really great. So until next time, keep them lit.